Hello and welcome. Today we're going to talk about a shiur based on a mimer of the Alter Rebbe in Likutei Torah in page Lamed Bet, which is very interesting because he's talking about the heart, he's talking about Ahavas Israel. So we know that the Elul is an acronym for Ani Ledodi Vedodi Li. And is divided in two parts that we're going to see now during the shiur. So what we need to understand is what's happening in Elul. What does the Jew needs to do? What's happened in Rosh Hashanah? What's going to happen in Yom Kippur? So in principle, what we're trying to do in Rosh Hashanah is the Jew is trying to begin the year being a better Jew, having secured the blessings to have a beautiful year in Parnassah, in health, in children, and in everything. What is the avoda? What is the work that a Jew has to do during the month of Elul? What the relationship does it has Elul and Rosh Hashanah? What does it mean when it says that Hashem is in the field, that the king is in the field? How do a Jew greet Hashem? So we understand that when the king is in the palace, it's very difficult for a person to approach him because he is all dressed in these beautiful garments. He has his crown, he has his entourage, he's in the palace, he has so many people protecting him. When Hashem is in the field, it's very easy to access him because it's like when you see presidents going into Camp David or going into a smaller city. They're smiling, they don't have the pressure, they don't have the tension. It's easy to be close to them. The same way, during the month of Elul, it's easy for us to approach Hashem. The Abu Darham says that the acronym means Ani Ledodi is the month of Elul, and Ledodi Li is Rosh Hashanah. It's a different energy. Elul is us approaching Hashem, and Rosh Hashanah is Hashem approaching us. During the month of Elul, what we are preparing the blessings, the fear, the love, and the emunah that we're going to have for the next year. So what we're doing is we're in principle drawing down revealed godliness below, from above to below. In Rosh Hashanah and in Yom Kippur, Hashem is going to be sending us blessings. During Elul, we're preparing those blessings for us. We're working on that. We are working very hard in having Kabbalah Sol, Malchut Shamayim, to accepting the yoke of heaven. The love, the fear, and the emunah that we have during the month of Elul, the working on that love, fear, and emunah is going to determine the love, emunah, and fear that we're going to have for the entire year. So in principle, we are going to secure our happiness for the entire year by working hard during the month of Elul. The relationship that we have with Hashem and that we're going to have during the next year is based on the relationship that we have now. So we know that when a person has a relationship with his girlfriend or with his wife or with a friend, if he doesn't come close on a constant basis, if he doesn't nurture that relationship fades away. The same way the relationship with Hashem, we have to nurture that relationship. And that nurture of the relationship is important to be done during the month of Elul. Hashem is very kind to us, and He reveals during the month of Elul the 13 attributes of mercy. It's a way that Hashem allows us, even though we have done things that we're not proud of, even though we have certain sins that we're not proud of, even though we haven't done all the proper things that we are supposed to do, By revealing the 13 attributes of mercy, He allows us to come near to Him and to feel comfortable being with Him. In part, He's beginning the process of forgiveness because He's smiling to us when He sees us in the field. Why in the field? In the field because that's where the Jew works, that's where the Jew is doing his avoda, not in the city. The city, the Jew goes to buy the things that he needs to buy. But in the previous time, going into the field was where he makes his avoda, where he makes his work. So by the Jew working hard on himself, working on this relationship, in that work, Hashem comes to visit him, Hashem comes to greet him and to be near to him. When the king goes back to the palace, he's going to be surrounded by a big entourage. He's going to have all his garments, all his crown, all the people around him protecting him. But if we had a relationship with Hashem when he was in the field, when we go to the palace, first of all, we won't feel uncomfortable because we know the king. We have a relationship, he's our king. He saw me, he visited me. So now for me it's easy to go into the palace because I feel comfortable there. I feel comfortable with the king, I don't feel threatened by the king. And the king, when he sees us, he knows us, he's been in our house. He's seen our family, he sees the effort that we put in the relationship. So he's also going to greet us in the palace with a big smile. And he's going to bring us close to him. When Hashem comes to the field, He doesn't have all this radiance and all this majesty. So we are able to come near to Him and generate a lower level of fear, a lower level of love, and a little bit of emunah. So is from the lower part of this creation to the higher part of the creation. So is above, from below to above, below to above. And that is the month of Elul. In Rosh Hashanah would be the opposite, would be Hashem from above to below. And it's going to be much higher, much stronger than what we're able to achieve. He's going to give us a higher level of fear, a higher lower level of love, and a big and strong emunah and bitachon to be connected to Him. This change that we're doing in ourselves, this effort that we're going to be doing in Elul, is going to pay very high. We're going to have a big reward, and it's going to allow us to have a big connection with Hashem. We have to take the time during this month to ponder, to work on the relationship with Hashem, to think in ways that we can initiate this relationship and come close to Him. And by doing so, Hashem will, Bezrat Hashem, reward us in Rosh Hashanah and then in Yom Kippur with abundant blessings, with abundant emunah, abundant bitachon, and all the blessings for a good year, a blessed year, in parnasah, in health, in family, in children, and in all our needs. May you have a beautiful and a blessed new year, and live a little higher. Thank you.